Hi everyone, it's Emma and welcome back to my channel and to another Sims 4 speed build. Today we are building in Del Sol Valley, which is the world we got with the Get Famous expansion pack, and I'm on the tiny lot in the sort of bottom left hand neighbourhood. I can't remember its name, but you can see from the little info box in the top that I'm building on Ward Park. It's a 20 by 20 and I'm building a tiny spa. As you can see, yeah, I've got the tiny home residential set on because I wanted the actual footprint of the spa to be under the 100 tiles, and I think it is there or thereabouts. Of course, if you actually play it, I use platforming for the roofs, so if you were to turn it back just to see, it wouldn't show it because, of course, the platforms count towards the tile count, even though they're actually as a roof and not being used, which is a bit of a shame, really. But yeah, I didn't want it to go too much over the 100 tile mark, so that's how I ended up with this. And it basically came around because I wanted a community lot that was a bit smaller than a lot of the others, and I typically build these huge spas, and so this is one of the things I wanted to do to challenge myself. And so I went in originally and I pulled out all of the lot requirements for a spa, and if you at the very beginning of the video you'll notice I had them all lined up in the back corner to make sure I had everything I needed as I was going in and I was building it. I didn't actually get into the pastel vibes of it until a bit later, so at the moment you can see I was going for this very, to me it felt very Del Sol vibes, this very sort of neutral blacks and modern, I guess, with the siding as well, like this very neutral blacks and natural wood siding that seemed to fit like the Del Sol vibe. It seemed like a sort of place that you would see Judith Ward come, basically. And I did actually change it up when, I think it was around the time when I was putting the boba cart in, which is a bit further on, so you'll see here. But yeah, about the spa, it has everything you actually need for it. You can see there's a shower and a toilet. There is a massage room off to the side there, and there are 2 chairs for you to get your nails done, as well as having the lockers. And yeah, I had to do a lot of fidgeting around with this, and I remember this because I was trying to sort out my layout and I was kind of like stuck in this weird little thing where like I was setting something up, but then it sort of worked sort of if I flipped the lot a bit better. And I think that's what I did here. I think the lot's now in the correct orientation, whereas, you know, you come in and then you step up into the main area there. And this is the back, or maybe this is still the front, and I don't think I've switched it yet, but I definitely switched something. And I remember messing around with this for so long, trying to get it right because something just wasn't sort of clicking and it didn't feel right. But I think this is the right way around now. And a lot of it is just figuring out where things go. And this was one of the things I really wanted to challenge myself with, because I've been having a bit of builder's block, and I've actually been having it for a while. Growing Together sort of stopped it momentarily. But this was something I really wanted to challenge myself with. And I don't build a lot of community lots. I think I've said that before on this channel. I tend to just sort of build houses, and so this was definitely one that I wanted to challenge myself, and I think I actually built it as well in mind for my own gameplay, but in the end I haven't actually used it yet. I am about to, because I'm about to start a short lifespan legacy over on my Twitch channel. You can catch me over there at Emma Hart Games, twitch.tv/Emma Hart Games. I'm about to start a Nightmare Legacy Challenge, because if you've been sort of subscribed to my channel for a little bit, you'll notice that I do have an ongoing legacy here that I filmed a staggering 2 episodes of before I kind of gave up. That's not to say that I won't go back to it, because chances are I probably will at some point, because I do really want to sort of get consistency with some gameplay as well, just for myself. But yeah, I figured maybe doing it over on Twitch and on a short lifespan will help me, because I'll be able to get like a bit of input from anyone who's watching, and it won't feel quite so overwhelming to have to deal with the Sims for so long if they're on like a short lifespan. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do there. And I think I'm actually going to place this in Del Sol Valley as well for that, in that save file, just so I've got a few of my own builds, like community lots. So I might build a couple more as well and pop the speed builds on the channel. But yeah, so I'm playing around with the outside here. I had so much of a fuss with the lighting for the fountains because I just couldn't seem to make anything work. And then I do actually settle on these ball lights, and I do change the colours because they come in this whole host of amazing colours. And yeah, I do change them after I change the colour theme. I'm still in here and I did an awful lot of fiddling around trying to make things work. And I just wanted it to be this kind of calming place, which doesn't make sense when you consider that it ends up in like this great big, bright, pastel, colourful sort of space. But do you know what? I think in the end it really worked and it was really fun, and it kind of imagined, like, I kind of imagined teenagers, this kind of being like the little spa that teenagers would frequent. You know, you could come and get their nails done, or they could come and get like their boba, maybe. But yeah, I had a lot of fun, and so you'll see all of these colour schemes change in a minute. Because so many of the bars were so big and they didn't fit in this tiny little space, but I knew I needed sort of like something like that sort of there. And you can see this little yoga area outside as well. None of them are the instructor mats, they are all just the personal use mats. But I think they work because you don't need like the structure. And I think part of the issue was I didn't actually have the space on the lot really to do one of the instructor mats for a class. But, you know, I think that's fine. It's the kind of place you could come and hang out, like, with a group. Maybe, I don't know, you have, like, a small yoga. If you have get-together, you can do the club. So maybe if you have, like, a small club, you could do, like, a small yoga club who maybe come here to do their yoga. And you can see now I'm sort of doing some of the roofing with the platforms. I had so much fussing when I was trying to do the roof and I couldn't quite get it to work, and it was just such a pain in the backside, to be perfectly honest with you. Nothing I sort of did worked, and it was just so frustrating. And then I'm just trying to figure out the inside here with the boba stuff, and a lot of it is very much like that pastel light bright colours. And I did use quite a lot of high school years in here, but again, I did build this back in February, so you don't have to worry if you don't have Growing Together. You don't need it to play this one. I do think I used quite a few other packs, but not the newest ones, so there's no worries. I can't remember if the bathroom clutter kit was out at that time or not, but I'm sure we'll find out in a minute when I come in here, because I know I do put some of like the cluttery bits in here. So yeah, so you don't have to worry if you don't have Growing Together. You can put this in your game and use it, because, you know, the pack wasn't out when I built it. I was trying to find some signage for outside as well. I wanted a nice sign that kind of showed that it was maybe like a spa or boba, and I couldn't really find anything, and I spent forever going through debug, and I even cut some of this out just for sort of clarity there about how that was going. And I think it was actually this sign that made me change my colour scheme up, the little purple one. It was the only one I could find that worked. It was the only one I really fell in love with. And then I was like, hey, why don't I just make it a pastel one? Because these are the colours I always use on my spas. I always use like the basic spa day wallpapers and, you know, those very neutrally kind of colours. And so now I'm just going through and you can see I'm just trying to change it up and do it. And this is the final colourings of it. This nice light green with the pink and the blue. And I changed the roof colour in a minute as well, and I changed all the tables, so we ended up with like these multicolour tables. And I love this build so much. I think it is so much fun because you can just see like how bright and colourful it is, and it just makes me kind of happy. Like now that I look at it, I do go through and change up some of these floorings. I spent quite a while trying to mess with them actually and trying to figure it out. And as much as I love that high school years tile, and I've said that so many times before that I'm obsessed with it and it's one of my favourites, it's good in a small room. Not in like this massive space. It felt very like whoa in my face. So I think I've gone back here to the Get Famous. I believe it is the tile. I think it's the Celebrity tile with like the gold lining. It was nice and bright, and it just added like that pop with like the gold as well that I think that worked sort of really well. And I'm just changing the walls now. I'm trying to figure out the inside colour scheme as well, because I did want it to match the outside colour scheme. And yeah, in the end, it turned out and it worked really, really well. And I'm really, really happy with it. And it is play tested as well and available on the gallery. You can find me on the gallery under my ID of EmmaHart121. And yeah, like I said, it is play tested. It is functional. It will work as a spa. Or of course, like I said, without the roof, it would be a tiny home. So if you wanted to like roof it more traditionally and then sort of, you know, renovate it into a tiny home, that would work too. I'm just trying to figure out the inside now with a bit of furnishing. It doesn't have the most space inside. And of course, there's so much that you actually need to have for a spa. And like I said, this does fill all of the lot requirements. You can see there are 2 lockers. There's a separate shower and toilet room. You've got your manicure chairs and you have the massage room off to the side. I just thought it would be fun to actually try and challenge myself to build something that stuck to like the 100 tile thing. So it is technically a tiny home in terms of like the area of like the playability. And I thought that was like, it was really fun. And I really had such a best time doing it. And it's kind of got me thinking that maybe another community lot with those tiles would be kind of fun. Like maybe like one of like the community spaces or like the rec centres, isn't it, that came with growing together. Like I was thinking to myself, like, is that possible to do in 100 tiles? I doubt it is possible because it seems like they need to be huge. But then again, I haven't actually gone in. I haven't actually tried to build one, and I haven't played with the pack yet. I am kind of saving that for my my short legacy lifespan that I am going to be doing on Twitch that I mentioned earlier. And so I haven't actually done it yet, but I think it might be fun to just try and see if you could do it. This was where I was so happy with the everyday clutter kit as well, because I knew when I was putting these yoga mats outside that there wasn't like enough stuff to like fill that space, and I wanted something that was a bit realistic. And so to have like the yoga mats with like the little dumbbells and like the kettlebells and then like the little like the trays as well, it was just nice, and it really added a little something to it. There's quite a lot of clutter in this build, and I'm actually starting to wonder now while I'm watching it if there's more clutter than anything else in there that sort of adds to it. But I think it's quite realistic. Like here, I put one of those shelving units here between the chairs as well, but in white, and then I just kind of clutter it up with like some nail stuff myself, like some of the little polishes and that. I'm still obsessed with the fact that they gave us an update with that. And then I used some more of these over here under the window in different colours, and I cluttered the heck out of it, to be honest. It was a real pain trying to get them to move as like the modular furniture, like trying to get them out of the way so I could alt place all of the like nail polish and stuff. But in the end, I did manage to do it. Like it kept going up and down, and then like all around, and I was just like, just move. But yeah, I got there in the end, and I thought this was a really nice little space. And it's so funny looking back now, like things that I would actually change for it. Like maybe between those chairs, I would put one of like the low tables that we got with the infant update, like the little side tables. So, but yeah, obviously it's already uploaded to the gallery, so there's not a lot I can do about that now. But it's quite funny to look back at an older build and see like what items I would put in. That was just a cut between them. That was another thing of me going through debug. So I cut all that out for you so you didn't have to watch me endlessly, mindlessly trying to scroll and figure something out. I'm just working on the landscaping here now and just trying to tidy it up and make it look a bit more refined, I guess, the way I kind of imagine it would be outside of a spa. With some landscaping here, there's like a path all the way around. Although you can't actually access the yoga area from the front, you have to go in around the back or at the side there, of course, if you go through the tables. It kind of balanced it out a little bit more, I think, and it just made it look a little bit more even. So it kind of like gives like sidewalk illusions, I guess, was kind of the thing I was going for. But yeah, and so I put this little table here at the side as well, and I put these debug umbrellas in all of the tables. Oh no, just the front one, and then a big one at the back. So there's kind of a bit of like shade, realistically. So if you could sit in the sun or you could sit in the shade, and yeah, I had so much fun building this, and I really enjoyed it. And it was quite different for me as a community lot, and I haven't seen a spa like it yet. So yeah, I mean, if you guys like this, please like the video and subscribe. I have plenty more Sims 4 builds, including some coming, some build challenges as well, including one that was set by my 12-year-old daughter, which was a hoot. And I can't wait to share that video with you guys. So yes, please like and subscribe to the channel and leave a comment if you really want to, if you like this. Again, my gallery ID is EmmaHart121, and this is available in the gallery for you. And after this little bit of landscaping, we are just going to jump into some screenshots of the build for you to see it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye guys!